During my childhood, my family was like a drop of water in a vast river, never staying in one place for long. We finally settled in Rhode Island when I was 8, where we stayed until I left for college in Colorado Springs. Most of my memories are rooted in Rhode Island, but fragments from earlier homes remain scattered in my mind. One set of memories, though, is as clear as glass. We were living just outside New Vineyard, Maine, in a large house, especially for a family of 3. I was 5 when we moved there, and not long after, I came down with a fever. The doctor said it was mononucleosis, so I was bedridden while we prepared to move to Pennsylvania. My room was mostly empty, with my belongings packed away. Boredom quickly set in, with only ginger ale and books to keep me company. About a week into my illness, I met Mr. Widemouth. I don't remember how he appeared, but I do remember asking his name. He told me to call him Mr. Widemouth because his mouth was so large. He looked like a Furby, with big eyes and ears, but it was his mouth that stood out the most. We spent the first few days just talking as he looked through my books, but he always disappeared when my mother came to check on me. One morning, he told me he had a new game to play. He led me to a room at the end of the hallway, with only a window as its defining feature. He pushed the window open and encouraged me to jump, explaining that if I pretended hard enough, I would bounce back up like a feather. I hesitated, looking down at the drop, but eventually declined. Mr. Widemouth's face twisted in anger for a moment before he retreated under my bed, silent for the rest of the day. The next morning, he showed up with a box full of knives, insisting he wanted to teach me how to juggle. I refused, terrified of getting caught and hurt. His frown deepened, and he disappeared under my bed again, leaving me to wonder how often he was hiding there. Sleep became difficult after that. Mr. Widemouth would wake me up at night, urging me to jump from the window, saying he had placed a real trampoline outside. I always refused. He wasn't fun to play with anymore. One morning, my mother told me I could finally go outside. I was thrilled to get out of the house and feel the sun on my face. But as soon as I stepped onto the back porch, Mr. Widemouth was there. He led me to a deer trail in the woods, saying it was an important path, one he had taken many friends down when they were ready. I wasn't ready yet, he said, but he hoped to take me there one day. I returned to the house, uneasy about what lay beyond that trail. 2 weeks after I met Mr. Widemouth, we left for Pennsylvania. I didn't tell him we were leaving. Even at 5, I sensed something wasn't right. As we pulled out of the driveway early in the morning, I saw his silhouette in my bedroom window, holding a steak knife and giving a small wave. I didn't wave back. Years later, I returned to New Vineyard. The house had burned down, leaving only the foundation. Curious, I followed the deer trail Mr. Widemouth had shown me. The trail ended at the New Vineyard Memorial Cemetery, where many of the tombstones belong to children. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more.